Hey, everybody, welcome to the Six Pennies podcast. This is our first episode under our new name. Give you guys a little introduction, explanation for why we changed our name. Alby, Mock, and I, Timmy. It's three of us guys giving our 2 cents. So that's six total cents, 6 pennies. For our first real Six Pennies podcast today, we're actually only going to have 4 pennies. It's just going to be me and Alby. What's up, Alby?
What's up, man? How are you?
Doing good. We decided to do a last minute quick fire pod. What we're going to start is a new series of one-on-one debates. So most of our podcasts are going to be all three of us, but every once in a while we're going to have one-on-one debates. We're going to pick some topics that we think have interesting people that we're going to talk about or debatable ideas. And then we'll just have a deeper analysis on those. We're not always going to have big emotional attachments towards whatever we're arguing for, but we just think some of these things can be interesting. So today's big topic is Ben Affleck versus Matt Damon. Albie, who you for?
Matt Damon, he's my boy.
Well, so also one quick thing, we didn't really prep much for this. Albie told me about 10 minutes ago they wanted to do a podcast, so I think he's been listing out a few things. But Albie, why is Matt Damon in the lead right now?
Yeah, I mean, to set this up, what happened was, I hope my manager doesn't listen to this, but one of my meetings today at work got canceled. So then I have like a 2-hour window of nothing to do.
Oh, 2 hours. Hey, it's going to be a long podcast.
I have 2 hours. So
all right.
I'm like, hey, Timmy, let's do a quick podcast real quick. So this is where we're at. And we're going for a Ben Affleck versus Matt Damon. And I chose Matt Damon. Just going through his resume since 97, let's just list a couple of the movies. 97, of course, was his big breakout role in Good Will Hunting. But then after that, you have Rounders, you have, comedies like Stuck on You and Euro Trip. You have really dramatic movies like Syriana and Good Shepherd, even a Western and True Grit. And then, of course, like he's famous for our Ocean's 11 series, the Bourne series. Recently, he's been doing like space movies, The Martian, Interstellar. He's just like so versatile. He's great in every type of role he's in, and I like how he owns like his lane. Like if people view him, as like a awkward comedy actor, then he would own that, and he would just own that lane. And so that's why I respect him, and that's why I like him over Affleck. Another reason is, to me, Damon really doesn't have any valleys. Like usually an actor or an actress would have to go through, peaks and valleys throughout their careers, highs and lows. But with Damon, I feel like it's been a steady, dose of just good movies, one after the other. Good TV appearances, good even like documentary appearances. Like he's been great, and so that's why he's my choice.
Good, very good. I'm not gonna argue that Matt Damon is not a big star and that he doesn't have good movies, because I like him a lot too. I think he's done a great job, like you said. He's got some really good movies out there. I'm looking at his IMDb page right now. I didn't know he had so many different roles. There's a lot of strange movies actually that I didn't know about, or I don't know anything about. So that'd be interesting to look at. Have you seen his new trailer for The Great Wall?
So yeah, I watched the trailer. I wasn't too thrilled about it, but because it's Matt Damon, I'm gonna watch the movie.
I don't know about that accent, man. I don't know if I can deal with that.
Oh, he has an accent in it, like Asian accent.
It's just a weird accent. It just doesn't sound right to me.
I'm definitely gonna watch it now.
Okay. Yeah, I mean he's a great actor, and all respect to him, but the reason why I'm going with Ben Affleck is something you mentioned, having the valleys that you don't really want your star actors or stars to have. For me, I know, and I think it's a pretty common knowledge that Ben Affleck had quite a valley in his career. I don't know if that was J-Lo that caused that or what, but I mean, he started out his career strong. Also, Good Will Hunting, obviously. Movies like Pearl Harbor, Reindeer Games, Shakespeare in Love. Those were like all pretty well received and highly acclaimed movies. And then he had the dip.
I wouldn't say acclaimed, but yeah, keep going.
You wouldn't say those are acclaimed?
No,
Shakespeare in
but
Love, right? Wasn't that Best Picture?
just listening to that list though, I'm like, that's probably like the greatest entrance to a career ever. Like, goodness gracious.
Yeah. Okay. Well, anyway, he had the dip, and we know about Daredevil and the movie with J Lo. But after that, the interesting thing is that he really pivoted and switched to something that he's much better at, which is directing, and that's where I respect him a lot. And I can't say that I love his acting ability right now as Batman or in his other movies, but the fact that he directed um, The Town and Argo, which won he won the Best Director award, I believe. He was also in Gone Girl, which was like Best Picture, I think. Those are pretty big, and then he's just I think a really well respected, versatile star now that not only acts but also directs and produces movies.
Yeah, I mean, I can't really hate on directing. You're right. Like, he's a great actor. And in terms of, I mean, a great director, I'm sorry, but in terms of acting, he might not even be the best one in his family, in my opinion.
Ooh, yeah, Casey's pretty good. Casey just won the Golden Globe the other day, right?
Yeah, he did. He's very talented. But I mean, I do respect Ben Affleck, and I completely forgot he was in Pearl Harbor. Wow.
Pearl Harbor,
I may
yeah.
have to watch that soon.
Oh, Pearl Harbor is a great movie. I don't know. It was great when I watched it. It's probably really terrible now. All right. Well, I think that's it for Affleck versus Damon. I mean, we're not going to convince each other otherwise. I think we both respect both guys, and it's pretty clear Damon is probably the stronger actor, and Affleck has the advantage because with his directing.
What would you say is Ben Affleck's best movie?
Probably that he's in, or that he's directed, or both.
That he's acted in.
He's acted in. Probably Gone Girl.
Okay.
That's just the most recent good movie that I've seen with him in it. I mean, it won a lot of awards too. So, what's Damon's best movie?
It's hard to pick one best movie since he's had like 20 amazing movies. But outside of the Ocean series and a Bourne series, which he owns in both roles.
Well, hold on. He does not own the Ocean series though. Oceans is Clooney and Pitt, and for some reason Damon. Why is Damon even? Why is he even in that role? Like, that's such a waste of his talent. That should be like Casey Affleck, or
because he's hilarious in it.
Casey Affleck's already in the movie, right?
And I think he is the star of Ocean's 8, by the way, which comes out in 2018.
I don't even know what that is. That's cool.
Yeah,
when is the all female Oceans coming out? Is that next year?
I have no idea. I didn't know they were doing that.
All right. We're not prepared for this podcast.
But to answer your question, I would say he was awesome in The Departed. And
yeah,
it's also probably because it's one of my favorite movies.
Yeah, excellent movie.
But yeah, that's my answer.
Oh, really? And he won the award for The Martian. So here's a quick
one fun fact.
Yeah.
So, Saving Private Ryan, Tom Hanks's movie?
Yeah.
Did you know that Matt Damon was actually the Private Ryan in it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they're saving him the whole time, right?
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Right. Hey, looking at the list, Talented Mr. Ripley was really awesome.
Yep.
And what was the other one I was going to mention?
I also love his cameos, like when he showed up in Entourage with the jet.
You love Entourage.
That was pretty hilarious.
Right. That's fine. In The Departed, do you think the movie would have been as good if Matt Damon and Leo had switched roles?
Yeah, I could see both doing it because they both have the ability to be the good guy and the bad guy. So yes.
Be
Do
interesting.
you think The Departed would be good if it was Leo, Marky Mark, and Ben Affleck?
No, but that's not what I'm saying. Ben Affleck doesn't have those acting chops. Uh, yeah, all right. It sounds like you've kind of moved me more into Damon, but we knew that to begin with. Like he's definitely a good actor. By the way, the new Ocean's movie starring the women is Rihanna, Anne Hathaway, Sandra Bullock,
Whoa,
Kate
whoa.
Blanchett. You didn't know that?
No.
Yeah, it
Tell me more.
was started production in October, so I'm not sure when it's coming out. Yep, should be cool.
Okay, sounds good.
All right, so that's all we got there. Moving on, we just have two quick hitters regarding the NBA, which we are both big fans of. First question I had that I came up with was regarding NBA trades. It is definitely trade season. There's rumors abound about guys like Paul Millsap and DeMarcus Cousins. I wanted to ask you, Albie, what is one big trade that could really spice things up for the rest of the year in the NBA, not involving the Cavs or the Warriors, because we know they're right now the favorites in the East and the West. What is one trade that could really change things up?
Yeah, I mean, this was pretty hard for me because you're right. It is kind of like a arms race, like a cold war between Cleveland and Golden State right now. But I would say the one thing that both teams do have in common is like an out of the world, three man small forward positions. Kevin Durant, LeBron James. So in my opinion, it would have to be someone in the same build, like a Kawhi or a Paul George. So for me, I'm going with Paul George to the Los Angeles Clippers. I think a lineup with Chris Paul, JJ Redick, Paul George, Blake Griffin, DeAndre Jordan would give Golden State the run of its money for sure.
Well,
Paul
yeah,
George to me is one of the best two-way players in the NBA, and I think that'd be awesome.
I mean,
Make it happen, dog. Make
that's
it
not
happen.
a that's not a trade though. That's giving Paul George to the Clippers. Like they would have to give up Blake Griffin, right?
Um, I mean,
They have
I
no
feel like
assets. Who are they going to give?
yeah, I
Austin
agree.
Rivers and
Yeah,
Jamal?
there's really no assets. Okay, fine. I'd say if you want to go that route, then I would say someone like John Wall. I think his name has been
Ooh,
on the rumor mill
nice.
recently. Maybe John Wall to like the Spurs or something because
Oh,
Tony Parker is just not getting the job done, and so John
that's
Wall
cool.
with Kawhi in the backcourt and then LaMarcus, that'd be a pretty formidable team as well.
Yeah, I guess it's the same question. Like I don't know what these teams could give up that's gonna make it work. So that's kind of the hard part about the question. I know I didn't give you much time to prepare.
But I
Uh,
mean, it's the
yeah,
Spurs though, right? They're always like somehow they pull one over everyone's heads or I don't know. It's yeah, you're right. You're right.
I mean, yeah, it's the Spurs. They would probably make it work somehow. I don't know what they would do to make that one work. For me, obviously, I'm a Rockets fan. We've heard Paul Millsap to the Raptors, but I want him on the Rockets. I think he'd
Ooh.
be perfect there. I think he would change the landscape of the West, and the Rockets would be in position to make a huge run. And the Rockets, as you know, always have lots of assets. We got picks, we got young players that we can give up, and I think he'd fit really well there.
Would he play the 4 or the 5 for Houston?
He can play both. Probably more the four when we got to go small ball against the Warriors. He could shift to the five as well.
But don't you want Ryan Anderson in there at all times?
I don't want Ryan Anderson in there at all times if he's going to be matched up with Kevin Durant.
That's true.
That's terrifying. My other trade that I was thinking about, or the other guy I'm thinking about, is Jimmy Butler. Same kind of idea though for me. Like I want him on the Clippers, and I think even if it was Paul George was a great idea, but I think trading Blake Griffin for either of those guys would be great because even with Griffin out, the Clippers with Paul and with Chris Paul and DeAndre running the pick and roll, having a guy like Paul George or Jimmy Butler in there would really help space things out a little bit and then just give them that versatile defender. I think they're strong enough even without Blake.
Make it happen, Doc.
Yeah, I don't know if Doc is going to be making huge trades like that. All right, our last question is about the NBA All-Star Game. The voting is up in the next week or so, and we know the fan votes are sometimes a little skewed. Shout out to Zaza.
Wait, by up you mean the voting is done in a week?
Yeah, I think fan voting is done in 1
Dang,
week.
I didn't even know it started.
It was quick. Right now, yeah, the prohibitive favorites that you expect are going to be up there. There's guys like Dwayne Wade, and if you didn't know, Zaza Pachulia is currently, I think, third for West front court players. But I wanted us to share our top or our starting lineups, who we think should be in the All-Star game for the East and the West. As a reminder, there's 2 guard spots and 3 front court spots. There's no center spot that we have to include. For the West, we have the same team, so we're not going to go over that. We got Westbrook and Harden in the backcourt, no question there. Durant and Kawhi as the forwards or as the 2 first front court guys, I think also no question. And then last one's Anthony Davis. That one's easy, right?
But I mean, yeah. But one thing of major note to point out is that the reigning 2-time MVP is not listed.
I know. You don't like Steph Curry. I got it.
Steph Curry's not on there.
Yeah.
Chris Paul isn't on there. It's like a changing of the guard almost.
I mean, if you get 2 guys one guy averaging a triple-double, the other guy, leading the league in assists and almost in points and getting 40-point triple-doubles back-to-back, like you can't beat that.
What if they put Harden as a front court player and put in Steph Curry then?
I think he's listed in the ballot as a backcourt, so I don't think they can do
good.
that.
I love doing podcasts with you. You know all the rules.
I do know. I love rules. Yeah. All right, let's move to the East. One of the rules that I know that I don't think that you saw is Jimmy Butler is actually listed as a front court player, so I think you had him in the backcourt. But that's fine. Give me your list.
All right. With that one caveat, so this is already wrong, but I had Jimmy Butler as a guard, DeMar DeRozan as a guard, LeBron, Giannis, and Hassan Whiteside as my front court players.
All right, so LeBron and Giannis, I'm with you there. I have Jimmy on there too. I have him as my other front court player, mostly because I don't know of any other great front court players in the East.
Whiteside, yeah, that's why I had Whiteside.
Whiteside is not good. Like, he piles up numbers, but he is not good at team defense. He lets guys go by him when he's going for a block. He doesn't box guys out. He is not good, and his team is terrible. You know that they don't put guys on the all-star starters if their teams are really bad.
He got paid, man. He doesn't care anymore.
I know, yeah, he doesn't care. For the East guards, you had DeRozan in there along with Jimmy. For me, it's Kyle Lowry, way, way, way above DeRozan.
Wow.
Yeah, DeRozan scored a lot of points. Everyone's like, "Oh my gosh, is he going to lead the league in scoring? Average 35 points a game." Obviously, that's regressed a little bit to the mean. And Lowry, though, is still killing it. He is, I think, career highs in a lot of the categories. Don't fact check on me that. Fact check me on that.
Let me give you some stats right now.
Yeah, go.
All right, so Kyle Lowry's PER rating is 23.93.
Okay.
DeMar DeRozan's is 25.23.
Oh.
Another interesting stat that I like is the estimated wins added.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the win shares in baseball. But DeMar DeRozan beats Lowry in that as well. His is at 9.9 and Lowry's is at 9.2.
All right, I guess that's the advantage you get for having an extra couple minutes of prep time. I think I just don't like DeRozan as much.
Yeah, so I will say though, if I knew Butler was a front court guy, obviously I would take Whiteside out and put Butler there, and then we would agree on your second guard,
Isaiah.
Yeah, we both love Isaiah Thomas.
Isaiah Thomas is amazing. He's 5'8", and he's incredible, and the Celtics are really good. I don't know. Lowry, I thought, was still having a great season. Maybe I'm thinking of fantasy basketball where he is way, way better than DeRozan just because he contributes more across the board.
Yeah, he's probably more rare in fantasy basketball than DeRozan, but I don't know. DeRozan's taken his game to new heights, and he's different from Whiteside because he just got paid, but apparently he still cares.
What do you think about if Miami tried to trade wanted to trade Whiteside? You have anywhere good he can go?
Yeah, so I think his name was also mentioned in a rumor mill. he would have to go to like Toronto or something to compete with Cleveland. On the West side, let me think here.
I mean,
Maybe the Rockets.
the rumor. Oh, that'd be cool. The rumor for Whiteside is Portland, or people have talked about how Portland needs that rim protector, but I don't think that's going to make enough of a difference in the West for this year. Maybe long term that would be good though.
Yeah, I mean, as a GM, I never understood GMs that, you have your team, let's say at like seventh, and then you make a huge move that mortgages your future to be fourth or third. Like I never understood those decisions, and so Whiteside going to Portland would be in the same breath for me, and to me, it just doesn't make sense.
It's like when Milwaukee traded for JJ Redick on an expiring contract and just gave up Tobias Harris for free.
Yeah.
All right. That's going to do it for the 6/4 Pennies podcast. Thanks for joining.
Thanks, guys.